I'm so chill this morning. Good morning. Life is good in the morning. Life is good in the morning. So, good morning. Wondering what's going on today with everybody. Starting off today, awesome sauce. I got that song. You know, the song that's I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed so easily. I have that song in my head now for some reason. I don't know why. But it's in my head and it's pretty annoying. So I don't know why I have it in my head. Ignore me putting edge up here. Just ignore all this. Just pretend you're not seeing this. It'll be in the other window. Right? The window. So you can't see it. Right? Right? Okay. Cool. So I really need to get that fixed. This squeaking of my arm here. It's like inside that. I thought it was right. Maybe figure out where that is and put some WD-40 on it so it doesn't like really annoy people. Because that would be really annoying. So we are continuing the adventure of the API, and we are working on this issue in GitHub. This is our issue in GitHub. What we've done so far, what we're doing is comparing Drupal core JSON API with kind of a flattened using contrib configuration versus custom resources, kind of a more product-based, not necessarily RESTful, but a product-based approach. So we went through the core one already. That was the first video I did. It was painful. There's quite a bit here in chat, but quite a bit here that. Well, so let me back up for a second. So what we were doing is we were looking at this page, right? And this page and trying to figure out how to get all the data we need. This existing system that uses a GraphQL query, how to get all the data we need. So we didn't really look at the GraphQL, we did a little bit, but we more just looked at the fields and looked at the API itself, see if we could figure out from the API. So as an external developer, if I didn't know Drupal's data structure, could I figure out how to get it? And I kind of did a little bit. So we went through and figured out, identified all the fields, and we put together a huge GraphQL query, and we got the response, and we put some information on here, and just some examples of there's some other examples. Hold on a second. Sorry, I need to answer a Slack thing. I talk about this. I like talking about mental health and from a software engineering perspective. Um, um, skill. Let me enter this. I actually want to tell you what we're talking about. Um, So I made a comment. So I had to log in. A little story time. I had to log in, re-log into Slack this one. All my orgs were disconnected. All of them were. Like I have like 6 orgs or seven different Slack orgs I log into. Two of them. One of them's work. One of them's ASICs, the company I work for. One of them's the VA. One of them is there's a Drupal one. There's some old companies I used to work for. Um, uh, um, and I got to relog into everything, and like every time I have to relog into anything, especially when it comes to especially Gmail or company accounts, I have like a recurring trauma that um like that I'm gonna get let go because it's happened before. So I had this story, and what's great about the company I work for is I wrote that in Slack just as a kind of offhand comment, and then one of the people messaged me. He goes, "Are you okay? Is there anything we can do?" Like immediately reached out and realized that he didn't know about my past trauma. He thought make sure I was okay with the company, and then I was like, he just wrote, unless you use something illegal that completely violates company values, I can't possibly see this happening. You can go on to something like that, which is really like important. For me, I'm a 41-year-old software engineer who was recently diagnosed with ADHD, who's reevaluating every just thing I've done in my life through that lens. And it explains a lot about some of the interactions I've had. Um, um, and I don't know, this company's a little different in that they understand that and they listen a little bit. I'm not sure where I was going with that because ADHD kicked in again, um, but he's actually been really supportive, and that trauma comes up every once in a while. Um, yeah, it was at a startup. I don't want to talk about who it was. Um, he didn't really wasn't really interested. He was, I don't know. Yeah, it, it I had a pretty traumatic experience of that company, and it's not. I had a couple of traumatic experiences with companies being overworked and like abused. And one consulting company I worked for, they would there was this client that was extremely difficult but paid ridiculously well. So like they would cycle engineers in and out of that client until they would burn out and they would flip it. Um, uh, um, so that burnt me out. Have had lots of burnouts. Um, so like, yeah. See, I just mentioned how I got signed out from Oregon. Everybody's so many teams are supportive. I don't know. It's just an interesting company. Um, I don't know no one's really listening to me, but it's important to have a place where you can be yourself and be supported, even when you fuck up, or even when you, um, um, even when you're like admit something like you have ADHD or you and that some people take advantage of. I was actually told not to tell people because, especially in a corporate setting, people take advantage of it. But I'm not there right now. And there's another thing that I've been on the radar a bit in this company because switching responsibilities a bit. I got moved. I was moving out of more Drupal and more into we kind of rearranged responsibilities of what the teams are doing. And I was hired to Drupal engineering. I was into it, but um, Drupal is just one of the tools that I use, and I was into it, and I was trying to like make changes with the team and like improve like code quality and just do all these better some practices, more professional, right? Or like an application engineer perspective. But I've kind of been on more DevOps side, and now there's a lot of problems. So I ended up um, kind of owning the content build pipeline a lot, spending a lot of time on that, and looking for improvements in that. So that's kind of where I'm now, and where we're in discussion. This is kind of a long turnaround about developer mental health, but I do want to make sure that anyone ever listens to this, they can feel comfortable. If you ever need to talk about anything related to software engineering and mental health or abuse, just reach out to me. If you don't, even if you don't want like you don't want to do anything about it, you just want to like talk about it. Like you don't want any, you know what I mean? I'll listen. I don't need, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. You just need to have someone to go to. Okay, now that's pressing things out of the way. Let's fix this thing that I had for the field audience. Why is it not doing what I want it to do? Wasn't formatting it the way I wanted it to. Cool. So what we're doing today is doing the custom resources um, on top of the JSON API. I'm just trying to fix this formatting. There we go. It's better. Custom resources on top of the API. Make sure everything looks good. 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 This is all stuff we went through before. This is the flatten API we did yesterday using the config modules, which gets you a long way from a usability perspective. Or de-Drupalizes a lot of things like WYSIWYG field stuff. Who cares what format it is? Developers don't care. They just want the content. And be able to do some of the includes. The JSON API module include module was interesting, but I didn't like the way it varied from the JSON API spec. I think it did too much. So I'm kind of think we should turn that off. I'm gonna turn that off locally. Actually, I already did. So what we're gonna do now is I already did some work around creating a custom API to serve this page, and where'd Postman go? So we're gonna like dissect that API and like make it work for this page, right? So let's look at that API. Let's close some of these. Here it is right here. So this is the perspective of a friend developer. React app loads up. You're on a certain URL and you want to get the content for that page, for that URL. So that's the perspective this is on. It still has the attributes, but it doesn't necessarily strictly to the entity, which is a little. Sorry about that sound. It's a little weird. From like to be pure JSON API. This is more like a traditional RESTful, and it probably will end up being that, to be honest, and not a JSON API specification standing, mostly because putting a layer between we're going to put a layer between Drupal and the public, and that's what that is. Yeah, we don't know. Anyways, I did want to put so let's start with what we have here. See how far we can get. What other text we need on top of just the just these fields. I also want to put the relationships in here and see if we need some includes, right? I wonder if we can just wait. Ooh. I wonder if includes work. Let's do it. So, sorry, this is include. If I just include section and I run, what does it do? It doesn't work. Okay. That's fine. I kind of expected that. So, this is the code I'm running. Let me make it bigger. Settings. Ooh, appearance. This is the only thing I don't like about changing font. Presentation mode. Let's just do presentation mode. How do you enter presentation mode? Here. Presentation mode. There you go. Ah. Enter presentation mode. Okay. Cool. So we have this, and we have to get a full screen. That's interesting. It's got a clock up there. So we have this data object we create. We're kind of using a custom resource. This uses the JSON API resource module, which allows you to use. So it allows you to use menu routes. Let's go to this module's screen again, and let's just go to this module's menu routes here. This API. So this routing file, right? Just regular routing. So you can actually do routes, but you have to include this JSON API element in there, and what resource type is going to be returned, right? And this is regular. This is default, and if I put it in anyway. And this is the great documentation in the module about how to set one up. And this is the class, and it always uses this process. This is undocumented, which you have to use this process method to do everything. Right now. This is terrible code. I know it's terrible code. I'm not trying to do kind of OOP stuff. Like if I was doing this, I'd have like I'd have a Q&A resource object separate that would like a translation object that would change the entity into the format needed separately, so it could be reused because it goes away through layers. Do the same thing with paragraphs, right? Similar sort of thing that entities would do. So any kind of customizations, but it's a little much, so we're not doing that here. One thing makes me think about this now. One thing we don't get is a lot of the built-in stuff from the resource module. From the JSON API itself. Like, see, we're not getting the include stuff working because we make the data object ourselves. You have to put that logic in there somewhere. What we should do is figure out how they're doing it. This resource data object takes I want the menu up here so you can see where path of code I'm in. It's helpful for me too. Oh, it's the bottom. Is it the bottom? Yeah. That's just the object. Exit presentation mode. Exit presentation mode, and we'll go back to we'll just change the appearance. Sorry about this. Font, just like a font. Let's see, it goes under appearance. So if we do 20, apply, it didn't change anything. Why didn't it change anything? It didn't change anything. I totally expected that to change something. This is the only thing with page return. It's a little overcomplicated at times. Appearance. Code editing. There's like a certain place to do this. We'll find it. I promise we'll find it. Custom font. I like the JetBrains monospace medium 18 apply 22 apply. That just changed the text up here. Son of a. It should be in the editor then, right? Let's just go like. I just want to make sure you can see it. I think it's going to be too small for the screen. 40. It's just so crazy. Yeah, it's 100% not applying. wonder if I have to like close and reopen. This is running through a. Does that look bigger? Can't tell. I am running through Linux, a Linux container. Um, so prod issue. If you can look at it real quick, look at it together. Oh, I don't have my socks on. Let's look at the prod issue together. Why did this fail? Why did this job? So this is a build job that puts all the content live. Let's see why it failed. Drupal failure. This has happened a few times. This is not good. Flip. So this is not actually not a good thing at all. I'll rerun it though. So I can just replay this. This will rerun the build job and redeploy the code, redeploy the content. But that's it's worrisome that this happened. We've seen it a couple times, and we don't know how to fix it. It's a problem. It's when weird status reported to the load balancer. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. So we need to make the output. We need to get all these fields, right? So we have, looking at the API response, right? Let's go through each one. So we have the title. Gosh, this is the wrong path. Let's make the right path here. Resources. Okay. Cool. That's not what I expected to see. You're gonna need a slash in the front. There we go. Here we go. So how do I change my deers record? Here's the answer. So we have that. Cool. No. Okay, cool. So we have all that. So now let's get the alert. Let's get the alert. Cool. Let's look for the alert information. I'm gonna get rid of this for now. Figure that out later. Gotta be some method I can run it through. So this is going to be alert, right? Let's just do a new method. This is a new get alert. Get alert for the, it's going to be a node interface node. We know it's going to be a Q&A node, right? We want to return string. Cool. Okay, so I still think the text isn't big enough. If you can't see it, let me know. I really want to make sure you can see it. So we can look at the past queries we've done and figure out what fields we need to get. And it should be actually pretty easy. This code's a little bit of a mess, and I apologize for that, but it is what it is. Let's see. Where was these? Let's look at one of these queries we have. I didn't put the actual API query to run here. need to put that down. And I have that. Before we forget, I want to put that down. This one, save. This one. I think this is the one that I want. Yeah, this is the one I want. So hold on, give me 2 seconds here. I want to make sure we document this. Documenting in a GitHub comment. I cannot recommend doing that. It's terrible. Fix some of our spelling since I'm really terrible at spelling. I want to turn I want this on, but it's really slow for this page. Because it's going to slow the whole experience down, so I won't do it right now. Let's find in the text where we talk about the search for flattened. Next. Here we go. Okay. Oh, I did put it down here. Here is the API call to get all the content for the page. This includes the full path for links, which was not available in the for Drupal API. Cool. Okay, cool. I'm going to save because I've lost comments before and I don't want to do that again. Let's check on our Jenkins job actually, shall we? No, you don't have to. I have Slack notifications if it fails. So I don't need to check on it. Okay. We're getting all the fields. So we need to get the next field, which is the block, the alert, right? Looking, since we're using kind of a similar API, we want to look at the alert, field alert. And what's actually true is looking at the API call from the raw JSON is going to be more helpful to us right now, because that will give us the exact field names is what we need in Drupal and not the JSON API field names. Doesn't make me wonder though whether or not I can create the JSON API resource and cherry pick what I want out. So if I did something like a resource equals resource object data. One of these is the right one. I don't know which one we already included. This one, right? Yeah, it's this one. It's resource object. Sorry, resource object, and then create from entity. And if I just send in the, what's the name of the entity? What do we call it here? Entity, right? If I just send that in, needs to be a resource type object first, and then an entity. So the resource type object, actually, I already have that. So oh, it's easy to be an object though. I have the resource types is an array. You get the resource type object. A resource type equals resource type the entity ID, which is type ID entity. It should really be one to create this from an entity, but it's kind of stupid. Entity type. Let's do bundle. Entity bundle. And the class, which is well, we're gonna do node because we know it's a node, but ideally you do something a little more dynamic, like a reflection to like get the class type. But I'm feeling pretty lazy right now, so we're not gonna do that. So resource type here. So it makes me wonder if we have this, can I like pull data out of this and only put that data in this? You know what I mean? So like, let's look at the resource type object. This value wraps Drupal entity so I can carry JSON API resource type alongside it. Also abstracts away differences between config and content. Has field, get field. Gets a given field. So if I can do URL, resource object, that's the self. This all honestly should all be in the factory class, not in this one, but it's okay. I won't harm too much for that. Get label field. Terminal type label. That's interesting. Extract big. See, that's internal. Okay, so we just need to get field. So if we can do, let's try this real quick. It would be much better if I can do entity get entity, sorry. QA resource get this gets the field item, so it's something that you would get from Drupal, right? And public name, I'm not sure if that's what configuration we put. We can try this out. Get field. We should actually do this a lot more intelligently here. I'm doing this is going to help a lot with the related content and the links and stuff like that. I think it's going to help a lot, especially in the get links. Or one thing I can't figure out is the included piece where that goes. Like if I search for include, which is probably not the best. Include. Include resolver. This is going to help me figure out how to do what I want to do. Resolves. Oh. Resolves included resources for an entity of collection of entities. Any type manager, access manager, resolve data, include parameter. So it's like it can be quote unquote include, I'm guessing. Which resources to resolve? It could be resource identifier, resource object data. So yeah. Okay. I wonder if we need to throw it through that before we send it out. Right? If we need to throw it through that. Because this is where it does all the include stuff. Use a tree of included field names and resolves it. It's internal. I think this is the main one. So I wonder if we can do that. If we send, what's it return? Returns the included data. How do you like, you add that to include trees? I'll just internal stuff. Build protected status. These are all internal stuff. This is only public method is this one. Unless there's this, yeah, it's only public method. Kind of curious. I want to kind of see where it's called from. How was used? Resource response factory. This is what I want. Unstable. Okay. Do not use this factory. Use this instead. Oh, that's what I'm doing. API response. Okay. Well, I'm not doing something right with my includes. Where else is this used? So where else is result used? Entity resource. It includes. This is the entity resource controller. So this is the so this is actually I might be need to be overwriting this one instead. I'm overwriting. So I'm overwriting resource base entity resource. So this is interesting. That's JSON API extras into resource. This one it doesn't really think I should be doing the entity resource base and not the resource base. It does give you more functionality in here. Water in here. I haven't been drinking water this whole time. I'm thirsty. Yeah, I think if I do this collection, this is a collection though. I need the collection one. Entity resource base. Yeah, some of these examples they have like author articles. See, they just do an entity query, right? And they can just load it. Entity query. Where's this one used from? This is test for entity creation trait. Not doing the listing right now. This is adding the functionality, which you don't need to do, but it does return process creation, the resource response. Yeah, I might do. Let's try this here. So let's go back to my code. This might be a little easier. And this is probably like this is just POC. You really just need to do this, but anyway. What was the class name again? I overread it. It's called Unity Resource Space. Unity Resource Space. Source base. Cool. So we have Unity Resource Space, so we should be able to do. We do. Resource equals this. Create individual data from Unity. Set document extractor. I don't know what that does. Okay, let's just go back to get create data from a resource, and we're going to do entity. Okay, so this should give us everything we need. So if I just have this, and we can get rid of this one, can I do? What is it? What kind of? I don't remember what kind of object it returns. Returns resource data object. Contain the resource object with congruency of 1. This corresponds to top level primary document. So we should be able to use that to build out this. So we use don't see a lot here. Honestly, this is a little bothering me. So let's do this here. Let's do this. It doesn't matter what this is. We're just going to blah. And we're going to do some xdebug fun. That's going to compile. And we don't need this anymore. Let's put a stop right here. If we go postman. Cool. So let's just see what's in that Q&A resource. It has a resource object. It has all the fields. So here's the, which is the version we put with the config changes we did, right? Just new extras, cool. What if I could just get field? Let's see what do a resource get data. I mean, is that the same thing we're on now? What did that get us? What was the point of that? It's a resource data object. It's a different resource data type. So what do we have available to us? Still don't get fields. If I do get data again, what am I going to get? Same thing. Let's try to array. Okay. It's an array of these objects. To array 0. Get fields. To complete. Okay. Get an error out. So well, this is just getting me the, this isn't doing anything over the actual entity for me. Okay, what if I do get links? Data. Get. See, I don't. This is not doing what I thought I would do at all. It's got to be something I'm missing. I kind of want to like. You know what would be helpful actually? If this has the include information in it. Like if I added include tags, the API call, will it give me the response that I want? Will it give me the include information? You know what I mean? Give me the include information. I feel like I'm being dumb about this is a better way to do this. I have to figure that out. I want to go through here's the controller. Here's the actual controller. It returns a response object. Okay. Build wrap response. Get includes. Okay. What if I could just I feel like they're doing all the work already. I could just reuse some of this stuff. It includes. Let's do that. So let's take the request. There's just to test the includes theory here, right? So I'm not going to change much now. If I come down here and I do includes, oops, put a dollar sign. We're not doing the patched. This is interesting. I think this will like. I can get this. Whoa. Controller. So if I inject the controller in, if I do into resource, need to the actual entity itself. Oh, there it is right there. Cool. So we can do that. So let's do that. So we have some API entity resource controller var resource entity resource. Oops. Resource. Let's go ahead and inject it. We're going to inject it. We're going to inject it. Usually, let's initialize properties. Anyways. Resource. Let's initialize it. That's property. Cool. And let's come down here and do container get. This is the thing with modern Drupal. Knowing, and it's the hard part about modern programming in general, is knowing where that stuff is. And so we have that object now. We should be able to do come down here. This will get us an entire response we want. Right. But we want to customize the primary data. They're calling it the primary data. Right? So yeah, so let's do that. So let's get that. That's a response object. We should be able to pick that apart, rearrange it, maybe. Just mess around here. Okay, we do new response equals this resource get individual entity request. I don't know. Maybe. This will give us all the routes. There's resource type. I'm kind of curious whether it does. This is the route. That's where I'm just making sure this is where I'm going. This is the right class. I think it is the get individual. Yeah, get individual. Oh, yeah, here it is right here. See, get individual. Patch individual. I bet you that's what it is. So if I search for get individual, what am I going to find? Unity resource. A bunch of tests. Yeah, so I think that's actually the function. So it calls get individual. But I'm kind of curious. Does that add the includes on there too? I mean, it must. Read, update, and remove. That's for unique controllers and stuff. Interesting. Has relationships in here. The routes. Oh, I didn't know they could do. Interesting. Okay. Let's just look at that object that gets returned and see what we can do with it. Get individual. So this is a response. It's got a bunch of data. Cool. That's it. What the heck is it? I kind of want to do an include here too. Should we have an include section? Just to have it. Oh, it just stopped. Just stopped. Why didn't it do the? Why didn't it let me break? Must be cached. Oh shoot! I forgot I have debug on, and that will just cause it to not do anything. With Drush. Poser 2. Mm. Do, 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 do. Okay, let's try it again. Okay, so Unity response. Okay, look at that. It has everything here. Includes. This gives me a good idea of how this is all structured. Top level document, right? Data links. Data is what gets the attributes. So if I can take these are actually list fields. You don't have to have the value. You can actually put the list, put the field list item in there. So if I take the I have that, can I get this data out of it is the question. This is just yeah, that's just gonna have these in it. It's not gonna have any more than that. The include what I really want is the include data. That's what I really want. That's what I really want is the include data. App level data says data, request, response, headers, links, meta. I want the includes in there. How do I, if I can do this, I can do equals, let's do includes quest it does that here too. Yeah, it's going to already do that. But it's still okay. It's okay. This is okay. I think I may be able to do this still. And the data in this case would be get includes. Okay, the data here, response HA resolves. If I use this, what's going to happen? Let's just try this. Let's just try this real quick. Let's see what it gives us. I'm not sure this is what I want to do, but let's just try it. It needs to get the. Can I get the response object from response data top level documents? So I do that, and then I do get includes. I think this should work. Let's just try this. Included data. I can do this. It's gonna work. Looks like it worked. And what does the response look like if I do the I think this is gonna work. It's gonna work. I think this is gonna work. This is gonna work. Let's try it. Let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. So if we want, so what do you want to get the includes? Not. I think this will work. I gotta spell response right. Okay. So include right. I really, really want that that includes section with the links with the section right here. I really want that. If I can get that somehow, This is the first step of figuring that out, so let's do it this way first. What did I do? It's broken. Broken. What line was that? 60. Oh. So, right? Again. Include data, get resource type. See, okay. It didn't work. It didn't work. Okay, we'll move on for this for now. I was just trying to get the related data. I think I could do it. I was trying to do it, an automated way, but I don't need to do that. I can do it a little more manual. Let's kind of get rid of some of the stuff I added. I need to re-add this class. This one. Maybe later when we're like doing this for real, but we're not doing it for real right now, so it's fine. Let's back out all this code. Sure, we're not using it anymore. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Okay. Just keep on adding the alert the way you would like a traditional Drupal way of doing it, right? So we have, let's kind of just keep this simple for now. So I can remove a lot of this code I'm not even using. Okay. So we're kind of getting entities up here. I don't need this anymore either. So if I want the section term, I already have that. I want the alert. I'm sorry, the alert. Alert entity. This is going to be very old school. What's the field name? So we can go back to that original query we had, a really long one, and kind of pick it apart. Arlet single. We can go non-usable reference. Does this work? I'm not sure this will work or not. I think we may have to do entity usable reference. So get entity. Field usable reference. Fieldable entity interface. I think I should do this. Yeah, it should be okay. That will give us the entity, the field information for non-usable reference. Actually, I need that one. Oops, not dot. This is not Java. So we're going to actually just do the xdebug again, just to make sure that is what I think it is. Can't remove the include anymore. Three. Oh. Okay. Oh, this is error out. I just want to run this real quick and see if this will do what I think it does. Okay, if I run this one. Okay, which is an entity. If I get the wrong field name for that, I thought I had the right field name. VA paragraphs. Let's do entity. It's the paragraph entity. Okay, there we go. And this is where the actual value is. Right. So we can just actually do that just because we can return the list item. Here. Alert field. We should be able to just return that, I think. And that should actually resolve in a way that'll work okay with the system. I have to, as an actual string. Let's try that real quick. Let's run that. That's what I think it does. It should give us Philly on you. Value maybe. Let's try that. Ugh, this is so annoying. It's null. But this should not be null, right? This is the indie paragraph, and this is where I want. This is where I want the field WYSIWYG. Let's go. Maybe process, right? Yep. Okay. Ah, booey. I lost it. Try again. The history. I have a history here. Okay. Let's just tell you to get this one value, how far you have to go in the chain to get it. It's awesome, isn't it? Relationships. We should put the attributes. So alert text. Alert text. What's next? So we have the alert text. Now we need these links. Okay. Destroy some of this crap. I need to get this, to be honest. I'm scared of all this. I'm not using this right now. This. Cool. So let's do and link entity. Let's go back to the field buttons. And we can look at one of the API responses we had before. Field buttons. Get included this. Usable alert. Paragraph WYSIWYG, this is that one. This is still the alert information. This is the buttons, field buttons. So you can go button links. This is an array. Should be an array. I mean the button link field from each paragraph. So for each entity field buttons as button field. Oops. And this links as an array up here. Links. Don't think we want. We do want a little bit of formatted text in here because we have the label and the link are two different areas, right? So we can do equals button label. There should be should be button fields, and it should be button label value. This one should be button link. Should be button field, button link. And this needs to be, this is a URI object, I think. Actually, let's put a stop in here. Let's go down and put links in here for now. A lot of this is me probably just trying to work against the natural feel of the module of the JSON API. Probably not the right thing to do, but this is what we're doing. A cache response. It is a cache response. Stop. Nope, it's the wrong API endpoint. Stop caching. No, I didn't. Good. Cool. So button field in the reference item values. We do button field. We have to go to the entity. Button field. Button label. No. Button field entity. That's a node. Button label. Field buttons. This is not what I wanted at all. So I have to do field buttons. That's not what I wanted at all. Button field. Not what I expected, to be honest. Field buttons. That's what I expected. All right, this is what I expected. 2 entities. Two different targets. I feel like I'm doing something stupid. Yes, va.gov is Veteran Affairs, U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs. U.S. Let's see, va.gov. So what I'm working on now is currently this site is a static site generation. Uses Metalsmith and a huge GraphQL query. It takes a long time to build out. So we're moving it to a live API, kind of a React app situation. All right, now I'm trying to replicate API calls to generate the data for this one page that we have in Drupal. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it because Drupal's a mess. Uh-huh. We're just working on the API part right now. There's actually a whole more architecture behind the pipeline, the build pipeline changes. We're just working on one small part right now. I haven't worked in Drupal for a while, programming Drupal for a while, so I'm just forgetting how to do things like simple querying of entity relationships. Makes me feel kind of stupid, but that's okay. U.S. Department. Yeah, I work for the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs. I work for a contract. I'm a contractor, so I don't work directly for them. Let's see. What am I looking for? My brain just went. I need some water. I haven't drank anything. Let's see. I'm looking for querying. So this is stupid. This is what I use Google for. NCT reference. I can't think of what I want to call this. Reference query. Just query. It's fine. Exactly what I want to do. Field query. That's not what I want. More looking for GraphQL. API sheet. That's what I'm looking for. Paragraphs. I do need to get the entity. These should be related entities. So I need to do this. Yeah, I need to do. Let's do. Paragraphs. Button paragraph equals button field get entity. That should be the paragraph. Just make sure that'll work like I think it will. No, it's a node. Why is that a node? That doesn't make any sense to me. Hold on. That doesn't make sense to me at all. That shouldn't be a node. Yeah, because paragraph buttons. Am I getting the? That doesn't make any sense to me. I should not be getting nodes. I'm going through buttons reference field to into reference to paragraphs. Let's try something else here. I feel stupid doing this. I don't know why. Like, this is such basic stuff. Field buttons value. If I do that, stuff like okay. Field buttons gives me that. That gives me it gives me the paragraph. There are two paragraphs though. There are two paragraphs, not one. So this should give me the first one, I guess. I wonder if I should do get view buttons. Enemy node. Okay, it's not what I want. Get one entity. It's a paragraph. Okay. So I have to. There should be. Can I for each over this? Is this a iterator? Reach over this, and then button field entity. This should give me what I want. That should get me the paragraph, and then this should be value button link. This should give you that. So let's just stop and retry it again. You're asking yourself, how can the VA let someone like me do this? I don't know. Don't they have smarter people to do this? Yeah, I guess. Who knows? Button paragraph. Paragraph. Great. So let's just mess around again in the expression. Button paragraph. I do button label. Okay. Field button label. Field button label. Button label, right? Give me the evaluation value. Great. If I do field button link, it gets me that. Actually want the entity, should give me the get entity. That's the paragraph. So button link. Link item. So if I want, let's just do, if I do get, I can get access to the button link. Button link. Field button link. Field button link. I want the URL object is what I want. If I do get, if I do first, link item. Okay. So this will get me, and I don't want this. I want to get the, what's the name of that? Link item. Get URL. Nope. I don't want the URI. I want the route. I want the public one. What's the well, it's URL object. So then I can do URL object. this is just good. This I think has a way to get the public URL instead of the URI. These are just factory classes, more factory classes, more factory classes, factory methods, more factory methods, more factory methods. To URI string. No, 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 no. URI? No, I want the URL. The URI. Break. How hard is it to do URI? Turn it to URL for the string. Is that what I want? It is. I don't like the name, but I will do it. To string. Yes, thank you. People say programming is hard. What do they know? What do they know? Right? This should get me the links to oh, Drupal claims to be providing irrelevant cache metadata, but as leaked metadata was detected. Please make sure you're not rendering content too early. I don't know what that means. Well, I know what that means, but I don't like want to deal with it. So let me just do this instead. Yeah. So that's weird. It would be that way. I wonder if I can do, actually, I'm going to take a quick break, get some water. You get some water. I'll be right back. Yep. Where's my little beautiful be right back screen because I spent zero time customizing this. All right, be right back. Hi, back. You never expected me to be back. Yeah. Water. Got a snack of yogurt. Let's make sure nothing in the world broke. Yesterday we had a issue with some rate limiting. Get a API from our deploy pipelines that they fixed it. Upstream fixed it. Good for them, yay! Yay! That was a problem. That's caused our we can't deploy code unless we we can communicate with GitHub because it's part of our release process. And those code doesn't have to be not just code, but any content. So we couldn't deploy any new content to va.gov. Layers of legacy system, my friend. Layers of legacy system. Okay. So why was this trying to send a response and render something? Right? Doesn't make any sense. Mm. I feel way better now that I had food. Man, I was getting a little peckish. Maybe it's like I need to make sure I'm adding a metadata from that object too. Let's do should probably do this earlier on. And keep on adding to it as we go, and at the bottom we'll so way up here we create the entity. We'll do this, and then we'll do national metadata, add dependency, section term, right? I think that's a cacheable. You only need 2 layers. I think I need to extract 2 layers here. Entity, can I get like cacheable? So I should actually have that cacheable dependency interface. Let's make sure this has a cacheable dependency interface. I think it does. This has cacheable dependency interface. Would one of these do? Yeah, there's a lot of interfaces on there. Well, let's just do this. I'm assuming this will work. Let's assume it's going to work. Do another one down here. Metadata, add cacheable dependency. Answer entity. Let's do Data, cache dependency, button. Do I need to get the, let's try that. I'm assuming that's what it wants. Let's try to see that that's an error out. Nope. I'm not sure why. Sorry for the squeaks. Okay, let's just try and search for that phrase. Just Google that. What does that mean? I've never seen that before. There we go. Blog post. Building REST resources. Common area that's surface page area, but you're puzzled why is it configured as simple. Use modified response story. Simply watch out for response. Okay. Okay. It's weird. That not help anybody else because it sure didn't help me. We're not using that one. Pretty close. Let's go down to. Oh, so maybe that's I'm trying to do something I shouldn't be doing. That's probably what's going on. This isn't going to help any. So I have to do something with the way it's rendering. So I can't. So can I do this maybe? Not to string it. Yeah, let's try that. You know, this is really stupid of me. There we go. Try again. There we go. Button label. Why didn't it do any text? Let's look at the URL object, which is here. One. This is what this object is. Yeah. Or render. To render array to string. Trying to render it. I think that's why. That's what's going on. Oh, that's stupid. And this is what I want. I don't know why it's airing out. I just do like get URI. Right, it's gonna show me that what I want. It's gonna give me that. cache. Actually, you know what? I may have cached before, so let's go back. Caching is really weird on this. I haven't quite figured it out yet. Still cleaning, private cleaning. So I have a okay. I want to play music, but I don't want to get banned. Banned with music. Okay. Send. Cool. Cool. All right. It's an object. And this will be get URI. That'll get me the URI string, which isn't what I want. I want the URL. It should be okay because there's a thing called enhancers that I should be able to get. Let's real quick see what it does or not thinks it does. That's weird. I need to send that to the route generator to get the URL, which is weird. I've done that before, but I don't really want to do that. Let's do this. There's a module that provides some help here called extras, and there is a plugin URL enhancer. Toostring works okay here. Why doesn't it work okay in my code? That's really weird. So toostring works here. Doesn't work over here. Now I need to create a new object. I can do that. Button URL. I shouldn't need to, but I will. What even let me get the URI? Super weird. I don't know what's going on here. Why wouldn't it let me get the URI? It aired out. Unrouted. Oh. Maybe I need this. Let's just do URI string instead. Maybe this is all I need to do. Before we get too crazy. It's not what I want to do, but see, one of them is a full, one of them isn't. That's what happened. This is a route. This is the yeah. Okay. All right. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, I can take care of this. I can take care of this. It should just be toString. Honestly, I don't know why toString isn't working. It should just be toString. Maybe it doesn't like it for. This one works fine for this one. So if is routed, let's get the URL. Let's try this. Let's just try this. See if this works. Not confident it will. Button URL equals. Let's go this. Should get the URL object. Hopefully, it doesn't get like a reference to it or something. And then let's do this. Let's just do if button URL is routed. String equals string. Yeah, maybe this is it. Needs to work. This will at least tell us whether or not my theory was correct about it airing out when it was airing out, right? It was airing out. We switch it. Run it again. Doesn't air out. So I was wrong. That's interesting. I would have thought that the opposite. So if it's not routed, toString should work. Create from URI. Let's just try creating a new object. Then URL string equals to string. That didn't air out, so let's flush the cache and see what's going on. Sometimes a result cache is flushed pretty heavily. I'm not changing any content so it doesn't get cleared out. I should just turn the whole thing off, but I have a lot of tune left. Cool. Ugh. Skip. So maybe it's actually returning this generated URL instead of a URL string. Right? So this is going to be generated URL. This is not, the error isn't here. The error is using the data from this one. Right, and this is a generated URL, which is spelled wrong. Then what can I do with it? See, this is how a bunch of crap on it. Is this return a string? Maybe that's the problem. It was returning an object which had its own. Yes, that was a problem. It's returning an object which had its own metadata attached to it. So if I collect bubble metadata, yeah, that's interesting. So then I could have what I should do is when I'm building this out, attach the metadata from that object to this main metadata cacheable response. That way it clears cache correctly, but we won't worry about that right now. Let's just run this and see. But hello. Hello, by the way. Yes. Why didn't I okay, this is where I'm gonna XDebug this bad boy. It's not doing what I want it to do. Being very bad. I am super. How are you today? A little tired. A little tired, but good. Very good. Very good. So this URL. Okay. Okay. So this should be is rounded as true, right? Okay, so it should go down here. So if I do string, okay, well that's what I expected. But why did it error out before? Let's go one more round. Why didn't it? Oh yeah, because I was erroring it here. My bad. Let's just do this. Let's see. My work just finished. Want to move to learn some Symfony now. Yay, Symfony. Did a huge. What's up on PHP Storm today? Yeah. Sometimes it does things the way it wants to do. Like, I don't know. I've messed up a couple times PHP Storm. This Git integration too. You just gotta, move slowly in that. I just want to push it and go, right? Push go. What's the next thing? Get that. We'll try this again here. Okay. What was the actual mess up you had? This should be the one that's not rounded. Okay, so this is if this is to string. Okay, so why I don't understand why I was getting that error before. This is just doesn't make any sense to me. The links are just an array. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. You just like gotta stop and like, oh my god, what I do? Yeah, I've done that where just, it's really easy to do that, the commit, right? And then just like, oh, let's just check everything and go. Or out of the immersion files, right? Yeah, yeah. Always, like, I always like to go through very carefully what's in when I'm changing, making sure I know what I'm doing. Um, I've done that before too, to commit when I'm not supposed to. One of the cool things about PHP Storm, like, you delete something like locally, even if it wasn't um like even if you committed it, even outside of Git, it has a local cache of every file. So I can just go into here and you look at your local history. You can see all the entire history of the file. So you can see everything you've done. Even if it's deleted, it'll be there if it was ever in PHP Storm. You have to kind of have to go up a higher level. I think if you go up to the folder level, you could do local history. Yeah, is that what you did? Yeah. So it shows you everything that was changed. So if it was deleted, it'd be in that list. Yep. Cool. Learning experience, man. Just a learning experience. That's all our mistakes are learning experiences. I also appreciate the follow. Let's see. Okay, so we were trying to figure out why this error is out. Let's just keep going here. Let's just run it and see if we get the same fatal error. The same errors before. Yeah, there ain't much. Gets a lot of hate, doesn't it? A lot of hate. I don't know why people have worked. You only use WordPress or haven't worked on it in 10 years. I get a lot of hate actually at my job too. Got a lot of Rails developers here, and they just think, anyways. And security people, oh, Drupal's not, or PHP's not secure. Okay, well, neither is Rails if you use it wrong, so it doesn't really matter what the programming language is. Um, yeah, it's great though. I like the flexibility of it. Really, you can do any style of programming language you really want. Pretty great. Cool. So I don't know why this is airing out. I think it's trying to use what I think it's trying to do is trying to when I'm running this toString here, it's something in the way this route assembly is working. It's trying to like render trying to render the URL using a different renderer, and it's just not liking it with the JSON renderer at the same time. That's my thought. So I don't have a lot to base that upon. See, this is great. Build external assemble URL. Yeah, a lot of it depends. My stream schedule depends a lot on my meetings during the day. So I do work for VA as a contractor, but all our work we do is open source. So you can see all our code on GitHub for the CMS and for all the other things. Most of the time, I'll stream in the AM Eastern time, so probably 9 to 11, 8 to 11, 8 to 11:30 Eastern. Mostly because I have our stand up is that I usually have a lot of afternoon meetings. I work with several West Coasters, so meetings start around 11:30. We have a lot. I usually have a lot in the afternoons, so I usually don't get a chance in the afternoon. But since I'm like, I kind of like I'm in the VA. I work for the open source. I'm
on the team lead for our team, I like to share the experiences and try to. I kind of want to um, talk like mental health for software engineers. When someone's been doing it for a long time, and like real world burnout, and like what some kind of neurodivergence. I was recently diagnosed with ADHD. What that's like as a 41-year-old who was diagnosed with that, had a whole life like that. So I don't know, just trying to be more open and supportive sort of role in a software engineering world where I feel like it can be a little competitive at times. I just want to take a different spin to it. And if you're US based and you pay taxes, you pay for my salary. So I think you should be able to see what we're doing and how we're working. I don't like hiding behind layers of things. So yeah. Um, so trying to get through here. One contribute to open source project. I've been open source for a very long time. It's it it's like, I don't know, you can contribute back, be part of something bigger than yourself. It's pretty cool. Um, okay, let's see if we can figure this error out. This is really bothering me. I don't know exactly what the problem is. This error should be self-responsible, self-explanatory. Um, Leaked metadata was detected. Not rendering content too early. It has to be the way this toString is working, and this is symbol that's rendering content oddly. It only happens on when the entity URL is being rendered. If I guess, actually, let's check that. Let's test that theory again. Actually, let's just do this. This should be the entity URL. Why is Stream Elements doing that thing? I need to turn that off. Sorry about that. I said that a long time ago. I don't really care much about followers or stuff. I'm not doing this for money. If I ever like made money at this, I'd just donate it anyway. This is not. I'm not doing this for that. Okay, just go with that. Okay, so that worked. So 100% is that. Okay, that's what I thought. So it's trying to render the entity and get the title. It's probably get the URL from the rendered entity, which is sort of strange. I just want the string. I want to generate. Maybe I can use this build external. I'm just trying to figure out how to do this without query. Sorry, I'm talking half sentences here. Where's the URL path? Yeah, this is a full URL. It's going to parse it out. Codes a path. External. Protocols. Cross site. That's not what I'm looking for. Yeah. No, I'm not looking for Twitch. It's whatever. I can freelance consult too if I want to. It's not really a big deal. Yeah, it's got to be something with this unrouted URL. Is there unrouted URL somewhere? Let's see. I wonder if it's doing some kind of access check, and that's what it's doing. If I can get the URL generator out of this instead of the no, I'm sorry, it's down here because it's routed. I had totally had the wrong thing. It's routed, so it's down here. So URL generator generated from route. Yeah, this is where it is. This is where it is. Okay. See, bubble URL generator. I don't want that. Maybe if I pass in default's false, but I'll force it false anyway. Maybe that's the problem. So I don't want to use it that. I don't want to use that renderer. I think it's trying to use a renderer instead of just using strings. That's the only thing I can think of why this would do it. Yeah, see, it's defaulting in true. Oh, see, it's doing it no matter what. So, wait a second. This is a URL. Oh, this is metadata URL. Okay, okay. I was in the wrong. I was in the wrong class. I was in the wrong class. Yeah, this is where it. Let's just run this again. If it errors out this time, I'm going to dive into it a little deeper to figure out what's going on. Yeah, okay. So let's just dive in deeper here. Figure out what's going on. A lot of time. I think I mean about 20 minutes. So we're going to have to stop soonish, but it's a bummer. Okay, let's see. Unrouted. So URL generator. URL generator. It's expected. Okay. 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 Generate from route. Now, this is, I think, is what happens right here. I think it goes to this collect metadata bubble, and that needs to be false. I think that's the problem. What's weird is it just kind of ignoring what you pass to it, so it doesn't care. Let's test that. If I go into this is the URL generator route. So weird. Ah, well, this one will actually get me. This is interesting. It didn't really help much, though, I guess. Looking at route. Yep, routes to an entity. You know what? Yeah, like I think I did this the wrong way. I think I want to go the route method. I think that'll be better. I'm kind of using methods that the field renderers are using. And it should be, you can use something else. You think this would be what we want to use, but I don't think it's doing what I want. So I think I need to use the route. I think I can get the route. Is the route stuff in here? Route, get URI. I get the URI, then get the route from the URI. I don't know if there's a, route. There isn't. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do route equals a route generator, if I remember right. I think I have the class up here still. I was using before. Dynamic routes. That's not what I want, though. I don't want the JSON API route. I want the main route. I have the paragraph object. Paragraph should be a paragraph entity, right? And if I can get the button paragraph, oops, it's weird. I bet you I can get something from this. I don't know what this is going to do, but we'll just stop right here and we'll try it out. So what I'm thinking is that instead of going down the field level, going down this path of the field, because the I'm going to go from the paragraph itself. This is not going to work at all. This is not what I want. These aren't the fields that are on there. I need, well, okay, maybe let's try it out. Where am I? Where's your? Where am I in this code? Why is it trying to? What's it doing? What is it doing? What's it doing? Did it air out already? No link template. Oh, okay. This aired out. Okay, well, I can't do that. That's okay. I think that wasn't the right thing anyway. I'm on the button URL. This is a field, and that field. If I could just get this and do this, just for this one. These magic methods sometimes work. So let's try this. I don't think it's going to work, but we'll try it anyway. Let's get us to a point we can actually mess with some data here. I just want to get back to Xdebug so I can mess with the values and see what's in there. Yeah, this might work. Do URI. Okay, so I get the URI. And then if I do that, let's just do this URI. That worked. Okay. And then I do URL. Oops. From URI. Put in the URI. Oops. And the URI, right? There should be URL. This might work. I don't know if this work or not. So if we do URL, I just want all I want people is a URL. That's it. That's not my URL. Is it too hard to ask to get a URL? I want the URL. I feel like I'm going like all back ass words to get this. That's stupid. Stop. Okay. 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 Let's see this airs out this time, like I did last time. I got this for last time, then it aired out. Ooh. What was the let's just go the rest of the way. Crossing fingers, everybody. So I don't know why I expected that to work. No idea why that should have worked. It shouldn't have worked. And I'm kind of happy it didn't, because if it did, I wouldn't have understood why it worked. And I don't want that. I might just be able to go to the route. I always have problems getting the stupid URL. I have the route object. I might be able to get the. Why is that so small? I might be able to get the foundation. What am I looking for? The URL from that. Oh, I didn't think this would be so hard. I really didn't think this would be so hard. Like, what I haven't done yet is just go Google it. What if we get the generator and we generate it from a route? What do you think, people? What do you think? If this is true, return this. Okay, so we don't return false, it should be okay. So we need the URL generator. This is a service. Can I pull this out? This is a service. Non-bubbling. Let's do it. Let's pull that object out. Let's do it. Let's do it. Injecting in this service. Whatever. Okay. URL. It's funny they named it non-bubbling when this one's called bubbling. You think they would name this one regular and this one bubbling. I'm assuming they didn't, because this was called, like, the intention of what it did changed at one point. Initialize. Okay. All right, so let's try this. So the URL generator now, and we can use that generator to take this URI. We can do this URL generator, and then URL generator generate. I don't know. Just do generate. Let's just do generate. URI. Is that what I want? Let's go back to that class though. I don't think generator is what I wanted. Do generate. Kind of a funny name. Get internal path from route. Generate. Generate from route. It doesn't actually pass in the bubbling. It's false. So hopefully it won't like try to do the fancy stuff with the bubbling. I think that's what's happened. I honestly think that's what's happened before. We can just go around that and not use the bubbling. I think we'll be okay. What's the difference between generate from route? Name, parameters, and they're the same thing. We're just gonna go generate because it looks prettier. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Non-existent service. Non-existent service. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Non-existent service. It's right there. I'm looking at it. damn it. Oh, I just want a URL. That's all I want is a URL. Why is this so hard? Why am I making this so hard? Why am I making this so hard? Question is, why am I making this so hard? I feel like I'm making this way too hard. Honest to God, I have to be making this too hard. And I think this is it right here. I think this is what I want. Well, because it's not unrouted though, it's a routed URL assembler. So it's not unrouted. I just want to have 4 minutes till my meeting starts. I really wanted to get this done before this call, but I don't think I am. I would thought the generator would URL generator would do it for me, but it's being a little butt, and I don't like it. Do generate is another do generate. It's kind of funny. Do generate, not just generate, but do it. You want to make sure you're doing the generate. This is. See, I don't want the bubbling one, and I can't not bubble it. You know what I mean? Like I don't want the bubbling one. Why is it doing another layer? This doesn't actually, using the generate here does the stuff, right? But see, it pushes it. But if I do, I think it's get from route, get path from route. I think this is actually what I want. I think this is what I want. If I get the generator, if I get the generator from the URL object, and these problems I'm having is mostly just because I don't code every day deep in Drupal, like, or even something like this. Most of my time is spent in meetings anymore anyway. So I don't know. I'm trying to justify my not being a complete idiot. So let's see. I have the URL object here. I get the route from the URL. Route name. Interesting that doesn't actually have the route. I get the route name. Actually, I want the URL generator. Get URL generator, and set one. I can't get one. So this is the generator, right? And that should be part of in this URL object. This should be part of, it should be here already. The generator should be here. Can't get to it like I want to get to it. See, it's here, but I can't get to it the way I want to get to it. I'm surprised I can't get the route object either. Shoot. I guess I have to stop. Very sorry. I wanted to finish this and show it off, but I can't. Well, so, I mean, good quick summary of where we're at, what we're doing. We're evaluating 3 different ways that Drupal can provide APIs. We're just doing proof of concepts right now. We're taking this one page and say, okay, what does it look like when you try the 3 different methods, possible methods? So Drupal has a core JSON API. It's very bare and very Drupal-ish for your Drupal formats. So I went through what it's like to use that. The flatten API allows some trim modules that make it like instead of like something like this, you can do this, and it has some include stuff. And I did a summary of that. I'm working on the custom version, which is more custom code on top of all of them. And that's not working like I want to at all. And that can be more like the main reason you do that is, for example, some of these data structures just to get this alert data structure right here. Like just on the custom code Drupal side, I had to go down this many layers to get that text. That's how many layers it is to get that text. And for someone who does not intimate with Drupal's API to know that would be really rough. Okay, I gotta go. I'm late. Thank you. I appreciate you watching. Have a good day. Tomorrow I won't be on. I'm on vacation next week. The week after, I'm gonna try and do mornings a couple days a week. I do enjoy this, so thank you. All right, see you later. Bye.